Welcome to the Chef Roc Culinary Underground. I'm Chef Roc, and we got Johnny Valentine and the Candy Bullets.
Yes!
All right, and of course we got you guys. And today is a special day. You know why? We're talking wine. No more whiners. We got winos. We're going to be talking some wine. That's us, you know what I mean? Get all the winos in the audience. It's going to be a great day. You know why? We got some special fish, special guests, great music, and a beautiful audience. I'm going to start out with one of my favorite dishes, local marlin. This is blue marlin, freshly caught right off the shores right here, and you know where I got it, right? VJ's Butcher Shop up in Haleiwa, that's right. It's the only place to get fresh food here. You know, I mean, really, there's no butcher shops. They cut the meat. It's from Molokai. They get the beef, the grass-fed, unbelievable. This is blue marlin. Check out this fillets. Wow. This is as gorgeous as it gets. Can you see that? Is that beautiful or what? That's gorgeous. So what I didn't have to trim anything off. I got the beautiful fillet. I just cut it into about 2-inch fillets. Did you see that, guys? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it's a nice cut of fish, huh? What we're gonna do is we're gonna dredge the fish. I like the dredge. When I say dredge, we're gonna use some flour. Just a little regular flour. I'm gonna spice up the flour right over here with a little white pepper and a little Hawaiian sea salt. All right, just kind of blend that together. And then what I wanna do is I wanna make sure I got a hot pan. So I wanna sear the fish and then turn it off, let it slowly cook, because we're gonna make a sauce in the second half of the show. But right now I wanna show you that it's so easy to cook up. Get that nice and hot, and then when you dredge, you grab the fish and you lightly put it into the flour. You don't have to pack it on, because what will happen is it's gonna get all clogged up on there and burn, and you don't need it. Check that out. And then you can give it a little shake. Shake, rattle, and roll, yeah, baby. Shake your marlin. Shake your groove thing. Remember that song? Wow, you're looking at me like I made it up. I didn't make it up. And you put that right in and do the other. This meat is so firm, I can't tell you. You can tell it's fresh. It's very gelatiny like, I mean, it's just so beautiful. You put that right in here. Let me fire that bad boy up a little higher. Put that third piece in. Now, we always recommend that you cook the fish right before you're going to serve it. You don't need to make it up too far ahead of time, because what will happen is it will dry out, right, guys? We don't want dry fish. So what I'm going to do is just cleanse the hands a little. Now you can see the oil starting to boil here a little bit. Can you see that? You don't want to put a lot of oil in there. We're not deep frying these. We're just going to sear the outside, put a nice little chrome finish on that, so to speak. Powder coat them, just give it a little brown edge. Flip them over, do the same thing on that side. And while this is cooking, I want to bring out a fella who's incredible. Dave Meters works with Constellation Brands. He's our wine guy. We're going to call Dave. You're our new wine guy, right?
Yeah. How you doing, Chef?
Good seeing you, Dave. Dave Meters, ladies and gentlemen, the wine guy. Now, I know a little bit about wine, but you probably know a little bit more than me. But what I found out was, salute first. Very important. Oh, that's nice. Now, if you had some real cooking wine, they put salt in it.
Really?
The old chefs used to put salt in the wine.
Why'd they do that?
To keep the guys from drinking it. Now, if you buy that stuff that's already in a bottle that says cooking wine, it has a little salty taste to it, and you know why. And it just basically, why use that wine when you could use great wine?
Did that keep them from drinking it?
Not a lot, but they actually went to the hard stuff. Hey, yeah, you really tricked us. 4 vodkas. It's like, Dave, it didn't help.
It didn't work.
It didn't help. I'm going to flip the fish. And why don't we talk about the wine that you have today, or just about wine in general? I mean, you're the expert.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I know how much you like farm to table.
Oh, yes.
So we brought a wine that's vine to table
Vine
for
to
you.
table. That's going to be your
Exactly.
next catchphrase.
So not only is this a interesting story about this wine, but there's some exciting green aspects of this wine too. It's called the Dreaming Tree. It's an exciting collaboration between our winemaker at Simi Winery, Steve Reeder, and also the musician Dave Matthews. They both met at a benefit several years ago, and they both found out they had a lot of interest together, not only in the environment, but also they were wine lovers. and music lovers. So our winemaker, Steve Reeder, invited them out to our Simi Winery in Sonoma, and they decided to make a wine together. Came out about 3 years ago. It's been very successful. Some of the environmental things about this bottle is a 1/4 pound lighter than most wine bottles. Makes it easier to recycle. This glass is craft paper, so it's 100% recyclable. So those are just a few of the things that are going to help the environment on there about this wine.
And a real cork too, I read, right?
It's 100% real cork, which also helps the recycling aspects of that too. And wine's supposed to be fun. Don't let anybody tell you what you're supposed to drink. If you like a wine, drink it. And as far as pairing, we're going to talk about that. First note is, if you like the wine, drink it, eat it with the food that you like. We're going to talk about, if you ask me what it should pair with, I'll tell you, but drink it with what you like. Drink the wine with the food you like, first of all.
That's what I like that. We were talking about that before. It's unpretentious.
Absolutely. Wine's supposed to be fun.
Don't make it so snobby where everyone thinks that you have to, you can't have red with this fish.
Right, absolutely.
Why not? It was on sale. No, or if it what if it happens to be your favorite wine?
Yeah.
Or those guests that are coming over, you don't want to spend that much.
Yeah.
I got some of those.
Keep it in the brown bag.
Exactly. Why not? Uncle Louie's in the back. Sit next to him. But anyway, hey, we're going to come back in a minute. We're going to go out with these guys here, the Candy Bullets and Johnny Valentine.
Sounds good. Let's
when we
have
come
some
back,
wine.
I got to finish my sauce. It's a blue marlin with a Beurre Blanc Bernaise. Hope y'all enjoy. Play us out, boys, while we drink wine. This segment is brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Liquid Aloha. Oh, that's good. Hey, not as good as these guys. Johnny Valentine and Candy Bullets, ladies and gentlemen. You're at the Culinary Underground. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be bringing that wine guy back in the second part of this segment because I want to learn a little bit more about wine. The guy has, a little more expertise than me. But as you saw earlier in the first segment, I made the marlin. And the marlin, you don't want to overcook, so I kind of pulled it off the burner. Now we're going to make a white wine butter sauce with a little Bernaise flair to it. It's kind of nice and easy. I'll tell you what, you got a little saucepan right here. First ingredient is very special, and it's Aloha white vinegar. You know them for their soy sauce. You know them for all their different flavors. that they have of basic glazes and barbecue sauces. We're going to go with the white vinegar distilled. So I'm going to put in about a quarter cup. Place that right in there. And to that, I'm going to add some of the Dreaming Tree Chardonnay. Very nice, great flavor. Like we were talking with Dave earlier, if you're going to cook with wine, you better be able to drink it. It should have that taste. So I'm going to put equal amounts. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce this to half the consistency of what's in there now. So I got a half a cup of liquid in there. I want to put it on high and just let that boil down for a second. But while it's boiling, I want, which is, you know, when I say boil down, which means that we're going to evaporate some of that liquid. And what's going to happen, it's going to condense the flavor of that vinegar and the wine and really create a nice base for our butter sauce. To that, I'm going to add some shallots. Very important, don't add garlic. You probably won't like the sauce. Shallots are a part of the onion family. They're very mild, but they have a nice little bite to them and a very unique flavor. So I put about 2 tablespoons in. I'm going to go with some capers. You all like capers out there? I'd hate to be the guy who has to pick those. I mean, how do you pick those? Or you shake on the bush. So I'm going to go with a little caper, which is a little vinegary bud off a caper bush, and has that nice little vinegary bite. But it has that nice little texture to it, too. You know, a nice soft little, you know, I don't know what you would call it. It's a bud. Hey, over here, we know what that is. We're going to go with some tarragon. What? You talk about food. Oh. Farm to table. So I put in some fresh tarragon, right local here. You know, I mean, if you can get fresh herbs, I don't know about you guys, but I would grow my own here. So this is starting to come to a little bit of a boil right now. And I just wanted to go back to the marlin for a second. I want to show you. You see, I put just a light browning on it, and that's from the flour too. And it puts on like a little sealed coating on there. See, when it starts to boil, that means it's reducing. And you see the steam, what's happening is it's removing part of that liquid. It's starting to drain it down. And I would recommend going with the white vinegar, because with the Chardonnay, you don't want too much of an offbeat flavor, like with an apple or anything of the other flavors that are available. Go with a white distilled vinegar, and when you reduce this, it's starting to boil right at this point. I'm going to bring Dave back in here, because right now I just need a little more wine, to be honest with you. Dave Meters, ladies and gentlemen, the wine guy from Constellation Brands.
You can't pour yourself?
I got Tyrannosaurus arms. I can't reach the bottle.
I better pour a little more this time as you drink.
Oh, wow. Look, what is it, stag night? What? I hope you're driving. My gosh. Oh, nice.
All right.
And this is such a great wine, not only to taste, but to cook with, because it just adds such a nice complexity to the sauce. I mean, the notes that are in here, these flavor notes. I'm tasting the buttery Chardonnay.
Right.
Not too dry, though.
No, not too dry, but you got the buttery in there, and then also you got, it's fresh pear tasting.
You can taste
fresh
that.
Peach.
Peach.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Basically, that's it. Little apple. You know.
Okay.
You know, everybody's got different palates, so it's going to taste a little different to
And you can
everybody.
taste it on different parts of your tongue.
Right. Absolutely.
And I can taste that sweetness and a little of that tang on the back of my tongue right now.
Right. The citrus from the pear and peach. Yeah. So when we're talking about pairing dishes too, again, remember, don't let anybody tell you what you should drink with what. You know, think about what wines you like first of all. You can go back to front. You can go and say, hey, I like this type of wine. What kind of food do we want to drink with it or eat with it? Or figure out what kind of dish you have and then go and pick out the wine. But first of all, Chef has got the great mahi here. So
the marlin.
Marlin, I'm sorry.
Marlin Perkins.
Marlin Perkins is here. Where?
He's back.
You know, think about when you get served a fish meal, and you know what kind of aspects. We got oils, and sometimes when you get served a fish meal, they give you a little slice of lemon to even suggest on there. So what do we have in here? We got the citrus, we got the pear. So
exactly.
They're already telling you that citrus pairs well with that. So we got the pear in here that's citrus, so you know that that's going to pair well. And Chef already said this has got a little buttery, and he's got a big old dish of butter right there. So we got buttery.
Can you see this over here, how it reduced by half? And you're right, I do got butter, because this is not a recipe for the faint of heart. See that? See how it reduced by half? So what I'm going to do now is start adding some cold butter. I'm using a fancy whip.
I like it.
But use butter chunks. So I'm not going to put all this in there.
Come on, more butter.
Maybe I will. So you kind of pull it off the heat and you start whipping it in. This is basically an emulsion sauce, meaning that obviously when you put that cold butter into the hot liquid, the first batch is going to melt. But you can you see how this is like melting a little slow now because it's actually cooled down that liquid? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it off the heat there and just slowly add some more cold butter. And obviously this is a French sauce. You know why? Because they don't really care about weight. They care about flavor, right? When I lived in Paris for a while, which I was fortunate enough to go to school there for a while and studied at the La Varenne, it was an incredible experience because it was the classic French cooking that I was learning and how the sauces were the different layers of flavors. When it meshes with a liquor, like a wine or a thing like that, with a food, a protein, that's magic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the French, they got it down, obviously, but I'll tell you what, I stole a few of their ideas. And although I like this sauce, you can't eat it all the time. You know, I mean, it's, you know, you blow up like a balloon.
Like it's just stung by a bee.
Yeah, it's just too rich. It really is. But I do love it so. But look you see how that sauce is.
That's great.
Now it's not a real heavy-duty, thick sauce. It just emulsifies and it gets on to this the fish and just kind of sticks a little bit. It's got to be real light. You know, I don't want it too thick. So what we're gonna do is let's put this fish up here. And this marlin is incredible. Doesn't that look nice? I mean, if you go to a restaurant, what do you think you'd pay for something like this?
35.
35. Tell you what, you can go over to VJ's and get this, and you can probably, for 35 bucks, feed a family of 4 or 6.
That's beautiful.
You know, when you make stuff by yourself at home, and this isn't brain surgery, it's not that difficult to do. Give it a try. Hey, if you don't like capers, forget about it. Take them out. Don't put them in. I don't mind. Just don't invite me. I like capers. But if it's one of those things where, hey, you know what? You use my recipes as a guide. And then go from there. Just like with wines, like you were saying, Dave.
Absolutely.
You know? Just use it as a guide, for Pete's sake. So this sauce just kind of laces over the top.
Oh, my God.
You know, with all these goodies. And that's what the French like to do. Just lace it. Don't smother it. Just lace it. I want to get some of those. The capers and the tarragon.
That's nice.
The tarragon is a very French style of herb. It has a very unique flavor, and I like just putting a little bit of those capers and that on top.
Whoa.
And that's good. And that's it. You know, try it.
That's beautiful.
That's great. Sometimes you can put a little pepper in there, a little salt, but I like it like that with the Béarnaise backing. The backing is the capers, shallots, and tarragon. So normally, if you were to make this as a hollandaise, one of the mother sauces, a hollandaise sauce, which is all egg yolk and butter, next thing you do is you make that reduction and then you add that to it and you're good to go. Now, obviously, this is going to go great with that fish.
Right.
And any like parting words, like how to buy? We got like a minute left for you to say
little quick
something
tip.
cool.
If you're out there, you know what kind of food you're going to have for the meal. Most of the wines on the back, they give a little description of what the wine tastes like. So think about what the food tastes like, read the description of what the wine tastes like, and see how that would feel in your mouth together. And if it looks like it's good, buy it.
And it's recycled.
And recycling the label.
You know, which I like.
Yeah.
Just when you throw it away, you got to send it back to them.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, you recycled it, you deal with it. No, it's great. So you think we can have Dave Matthews on the show? Since we're pumping his wine?
I'll call him. Can I throw in your name?
Yeah, he knows me. We hung out.
You got it.
We played rugby together. I'll
Tell
you what.
Food and wine.
Food and wine. Who loves you, baby? Dave Meters, ladies and gentlemen. Constellation Brands. We'll be back in a minute. The previous segment was brought to you by Aloha Shoyu. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
Simply delicious. healthy gluten-free soy sauce to complement any dish. Accent, splash, drizzle, Aloha Hawaiian-style katsu sauce. From our family to yours, served with pride. Reach for the healthy choice. Aloha brand sauces. An island staple. Taste of tradition. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, Johnny Valentine and the Candy Bullets. Take it away, guys.
Squeeze me, please me. You do what you please. I'm always waiting. I'm down on my knees, begging, would you please? You do as you please, knowing I'll be around. You're always a tease, and I'm all going down. Huh. Ha. Once in a while, the ball's in my court, and when it is, you're good to me. Once in a while, the ball's in my court, and when it is, you're best to me. Squeeze me, please me. You do what you please, and I'm always waiting.
Closed captioning provided by the American Renaissance Academy, preparing graduates for college and beyond.
Knowing I'll be around.
simply delicious. Healthy gluten-free soy sauce to complement any dish. Accent, splash, drizzle. Aloha Hawaiian-style katsu sauce. From our family to yours, served with pride. Reach for the healthy choice. Aloha brand sauces. An island staple. Taste of tradition. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
We are dreamers. We dream about our future and how we make it ours.
Where we are the community with pride and citizenship.
Where learning is exciting.
Where it's great to think differently.
Dreams start at our school.
American Renaissance Academy.
Visit us at arahawaii.org.
Thank you for being part of the Chef Roc Culinary Underground show. I want to thank the studio audience. I want to thank Johnny Valentine, the Candy Bullets, Dave Metters, Constellation Wines. Fantastic, great stuff. Can't wait to have you on the show again. Aloha show you the way to go home. With Aloha, taste the flavor of Hawaii. I want to thank Kona Brewery. I want to thank Skydive Hawaii. I want to thank VJ Butcher's Shop. That's right. And I want to thank everyone who's watching at home. Till we see you again. Bada bing, bada boom. Have fun cooking, baby. Chef Roc loves you. Enjoy, guys. Take it away, my friends.
Don't go.
Promotional considerations provided by Aloha Shoyu, Kona Brewing Company, BJ's Butcher Block, Skydive Hawaii, Hawaii Polo Club, American Renaissance Academy, and Sweet Leilani Florist.
Just stay